Hello, Aries. Welcome to Mountain Medicine Tarot. I just did a reading, my first one ever. This is my first recorded reading. The one I just did, I realized that this is backwards. The camera switches my signs and my directions, so I have to just kind of be aware of that and do a mirror image thing here because I would like to go over to you. This is where the cards will be positioned, and also the weather right now. I opened a window that's all like cobwebbed out because the wind is just absolute insanity, and I have some smoke going on in here. Hopefully you can see it. Relax, dog. My dog's like, dude. He's like eating cat food and choking to death. Don't die, dude. Okay. So we have the South Shield, that of the wolf. You'll notice that he is howling. This is the childish self placement, that of the past and of how we trust others, how we work with others. So there's two sides to the wolf, which is the playful self. He is one of the only animals that will play with his food. Sometimes he'll come into a farmer's dwelling and just kill all of the sheep and then just run away, and it looks like he's laughing. Okay, so he's one of the playful, but he also sits and howls at the moon for no reason. So it's kind of like, dude, what's your deal? You know, so he's like the childhood aspect of the self, which sometimes is crying all the time and sometimes is just laughing with no end. So we'll figure out which of those pertain to you and why. Then we move to the West and see how it's switched. Okay, so when I do the cards, I will switch them because my camera just does this. This is introspection. The bears are beautiful. You can tell I really like bears because it's very feminine. And she is, obviously not all bears are a she, but it represents a female energy. Bears are very independent, except for when they're mothers. They will be seen with children for 2 to 5 years and then go back to being alone again. And so this has everything to do with introspection, not to mention going into the cave and hibernating. That's something that is very well revered, and bears are such a large totem animal because of that, because it's so inspiring that these animals go away by themselves for months at a time and then come out a brand new springtime, you know, totally new understanding of life after that hibernation happens. So that is the energy of the West, okay? Then we have the buffalo at the north, and the buffalo is such a powerful, like, I can't even describe to you how beautiful the buffalo energy is, which is the grandfather buffalo. This is the grandfather energy. This is a place of abundance, a place of gratitude, a place of wisdom, okay? And then from there, we go to the east, which looks like west, but this is the east, which is the eagle. His lesson is that he flies so high sometimes that he disappears. And in that aspect, in that time and space, he appears to be on the other side, right? Like he passes away because he goes so high up. And then he comes back and he has this unlimited, wise clarity. He knows everything, but is so silent also. But he just really doesn't seem to have any worries. He's this soarer, you know, he just like opens his wings and just doesn't really have worries on the world. My computer goes to sleep, so ignore my hand coming up every once in a while. Clarity in the east, okay? And that will be moving forward. So I want to go over this. The east is where we begin most of the time, okay? This is the beginning. So what we're going to do is start in the south. And I know that sounds weird, but we're going to start at 0, go to 25%, you know, then go to, no, wait, okay. So we go from 0 to 25% to 50% to 3/4 of the way there to 1. And 1 is where we begin. So we go backwards and we start from this childhood self, from this past energy to the introspective energy to the all-knowing to the beginning. Okay, so keep that in mind here. Here I have my little spread of my space that I'd like to share with you. You'll notice that my skin is white, though I speak in Native American terminology. It is prophesied that there would be the 3rd generation of the White Eyes who come to share the red race and their culture, okay? So please ignore that fact that my hands are white as you see me throughout this. I've brought in a couple things to share with my reading. Over on this side we have some British. That's where I'm from. I'm British and British. I am the third generation of the settlers of the Mormon Church over here in the Intermountain West. Okay, so I have some turquoise. I'm very connected and very drawn to Native American culture. Say what you will, that's fine. I'm going to sneak over here because I had a little guy fall over. So this little guy, little bear, I've got some smoke going on, some turquoise, some silver, just to illuminate a little bit on both sides of the culture, okay, because it is prophesied that the third generation would come and be the kind of a informational human. So here I am. Oh, I fell over again. Son of a gun. I'm sorry, I pinned my hair back. I probably look pretty ridiculous, but you know, we don't care how we look, do we? So I'm going to do a mirror image here. I'm going to target Aries on this one. It's the first of the zodiac. I'm using the sun sign of more of a Western philosophy because that's what people are accustomed to seeing as they open up a newspaper or to find their zodiac. Okay, I don't want people to have to go and relearn a whole culture in order to be part of a reading. So, Aries, July of 2016. What are some messages from the ancestors and from the spiritual realm that may assist our Aries in moving forward in July in this fourth world? Please show us some messages for the fourth world, Aries. Okay. So we will start at the south, like I said, south card. Then we have, what's this? We look at it. This is east, so we're going to go west. Like I said, it's a mirror image, so it kind of confuses me. And the center. Okay, beautiful. The center here is the baby card, but how interesting is this? This card here, I almost lost it, has nothing to do with babies. There may be Aries, and I have heard through other readings that there are some Aries with babies coming, and congratulations on that. But this here is more so the ability to take care of the next 7 generations. Instead of being the baby in this card, we are the cradle board. We are the carrier of the next generation. In this, we need to pay attention to what's used for materials. You know, are we using a diaper-like material? Do we have padding behind the head? Are we being protective of the next 7 generations? Okay, so not as much to do with babies as it is to do with the next 7 generations. Maybe we are responsible for children, nieces, nephews, and so forth, and so we are the protectors, okay, of the next few generations. So this is what's the center of our reading, is the ability to respond, the ability to act upon those things that we have. What methods and what materials do we have to work with, and how are we responding to those abilities that we have, talents that we have, okay? Then we are going to start with the south. South stays the same, thank goodness. Painted face, self-expression. This card is very cool. This little guy, he is probably going into war. Yes, he's probably very, very strong. You can see with his red stripe that that's very likely to be a war face. But there are many different ways to paint your face in ancient Native American theologies. Okay, we may have a wise one who has teardrops. Maybe there's a young one with no paint at all. You choose, and your spiritual leaders choose, how you want to present yourself to an enemy, to a friend, to your friends and family. So you can paint your face any way you'd like, but this could indicate that you are not necessarily wearing too much makeup, but it's more of a inner expression. This is how you choose to say, I am here to win a war. I am here to be vulnerable. Okay, and in this South card, that's the position that we're in, is the childlike self. So there could be somebody who is painting themselves out to be that of a warrior, that of a victim, that of a child, that of anything. You'll know. And if this was a private reading, I would know. But we don't. We will come back to this and we will illuminate. Okay? So we are going to go to the west, which is this way. Yes. Backwards. Got it. Sundance. Okay. This came out on the first reading that I did. It's upside down. In the west, we have the male ceremony. Sun is male, moon is female. This is a ceremony that men would do. I don't want to get into detail because it is a very private thing. Okay, First Nations people, they really enjoy having these traditions be their own. Okay, so feel free to look into it if you'd like, but it's not something I'd like to publicize on, all of these things. But something that it happens, you'll see that, and it's not barbaric. Please don't look at this like this person is going nuts and he's just being some native crazy barbarian. Okay, it's not like that. What he's doing is there's a pole here. Imagine a pole here, and he has strings attached to his chest via hooks, okay? And he is paying homage, or he is dancing around in a circle, because a circle is sacred to Creator. So he is dancing around in a circle in a meditative state that he wants to give in to this sort of pain, because he's sort of leaning backwards. And so women, we have childbirth, we have periods, we have to bleed, we have to have all of these different painful scenarios happen. And men back in the day, back in these ancient times, they not only saw that, but they actually inflicted a sort of ceremonial version of pain in order to pay homage to that and to the Creator, okay? So very interesting. A male, very, very masculine right here. And this is masculine. West shield is introspection. So no, we are not necessarily saying that you are a manly female, okay? But we are saying that maybe there's time to come and hold your ground. This is to say, maybe you're not painting your face at all and you're having your heart on your sleeve and everybody can see exactly what you're thinking, and maybe everyone is seeing you to be this innocent simpleton, when really we need to say, no, you know what, maybe, I'm sorry, my dog chases her tail. That's what you're hearing. She's going around in circles chasing her tail. So no, nothing is like, there's no hurricane going on in here, though it sounds like it. Okay, so self-expression. This is also a time of the past. So maybe something has gone on in the past that we've been completely vulnerable of, and it's time to kind of put on our war face and decide, no, wait, I am going to be, manipulative is not the right word, just smart in how you're presenting yourself is this. Maybe we're posting on Facebook too much. That's kind of what I put it to. Think of it like that, like you are very projective to your inner self-projecting, okay? You will know which way that will go, because it does go both ways, too much or not enough, but it is right side up, so that's good. Then we have a male influence, perhaps, that's in our sacred space, because this is a very feminine sacred space, so maybe there's a man in our lives, as this is a feminine position, and there's a masculine energy. Maybe that is what's going on. Maybe there's a baby who is coming, because it can and cannot, you know, have something to do with the child. So, because of that 7 generations, okay? So, very cool. So maybe there's someone who's female and does project very masculine, you know, that maybe paints her face to be very masculine and to embody kind of a masculine energy, okay? Then from the west, we go north. And we have the east shield in the north position. And we already kind of know what he stands for. This little guy is the eagle who flies high enough to connect to the beings on the other side and brings that illumination and clarity back. And so in the ultimate wisdom category, we have illumination and clarity on maybe a specific issue. So maybe somebody, which I think this is the case, which is that maybe someone outside of ourselves is expressing themselves to be one way, and we are seeing the way that it actually is, and that we are at a position of being the wiser and to having the answer, okay, that maybe is something different than what this person is telling you, because this can be not really putting out there everything or putting out there too much. So you'll know, and this might not even be you. This might be somebody else. Okay? Then we have the storyteller. So expansion. Cool story here. So a storyteller, there may be one for a region. So maybe like one person in a tribe of 4 or 5 different bands of tribes. And this person just jumps on horseback. And yes, they do their hair a little bit different. These are also dolls. These are carved. You might see these carved on someone's shelf. But so how Native American culture worked is that you are born, you live for 3 or 4 or 5 years, and people were so connected back then and so meditative and so, oh my gosh, just intuitive and empathic and all-knowing, okay, honestly. And so the leaders of a tribe would know, your mother might know while you're in the womb, that you are coming to be this storyteller person. That you would go between tribe and tribe and tribe to tell the stories of what's going on. This is kind of a journalist, you know, but everything in Native American culture was spoken. Their language was not written until after the white man came. So it's a very insane gift, and it's being able to be the wiser and then to go and share that story and help others to expand their knowledge. So expansion being taking knowledge and running with it. So I think there's a secret going on that somebody that's about to be illuminated. We have the illumination up there at the north, which is that you are the wiser. That is kind of what's coming in from your third eye, is that there's information that will illuminate an issue. And I see, because these two are kind of not darker cards. This one is a little bit darker. I mean, it looks dark because he's made up to be kind of a war hero, but he doesn't have to be. He might be painting himself to be something different. You will know. And then someone, and then I love that this is self-sacrificing, because it could be somebody with these two being connected. This could be, because we have like the blue road, which is straight up and down, and the blue is spiritual, it's smoke, it's the unknown, okay, the unphysical. Then we have the physical realm, which crosses this way, and ooh, that wind is crazy! Woo! I love extreme weather. It makes me so excited. So we have a lot of information coming in, and so we split the cards in half, and this side is more past, this side is more future because of these two cards. Ooh. So those two say that there is new information coming. These two say that ability to respond, to be able to see these two messages and to respond accordingly. So it's a little bit confusing because to my naked eye, these are switched. To your eye, they are the same. So I'm sure I'll get used to it, but it is a little bit something to get used to. So I'd like to expand. I like to expand on the south, because the south is kind of more of the past, and that's kind of where we start. Okay, but it's good because the east is expansion, and that's exactly where it should be, you know, and illumination has a lot to do with the east. So our third eye is telling us there's more to know, and then our east shield is saying that we will know it, and we will expand and go forward from there. So this south shield, I'm kind of worried, not worried, but there's just perhaps somebody in our past, maybe there's an aspect of our past. Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay. Oh, I flipped him and he wasn't there. South shield, that's where we are. So, cool. So we have the south shield, obviously. Look at how cool. These two are so similar, except for this is the death card. Okay, right here is death, and we know in tarot and in spirituality that death is more so rebirth than it is death. Okay, but he does look a little creepy, and this guy looks a little creepy. These are the two face cards that you can get in this deck. So, so something is maybe coming to light, or there is an ending to this person or this mentality. There is an end to it, which is great, which leads to the next step, which is Ritual of Joy, Hour of Power. And this is really a nice, beautiful card. This person is just out in the meadow dancing and just has no worries at all. And the word of importance is ritual of joy, repetitive joy. Okay, so it's not about having 1 hour of power, but it's more like this hour of power that changes everything. That you go out and you dance in the meadow, and then you realize, okay, I can do this any day. I don't have to stay home and be sad, or to, you know, because we're in the South card, which is this guy. He can be either the victim or the playful. He can be timid, or he can be a jokester, but very childish in an innocent way, or in a victimized way. We don't really know because it's not a personal reading yet. But we want to get to this place here where we're at this ritual of joy, where it's a habit, where it's continuous, where we can go back to it at any time, which means we may need to shed a few things, put an end to the way we've been projecting, put an end to someone who's been projecting towards us. You will know, okay? So that's a good place to illuminate. I like this card a lot. It has to do with nothing but staying grounded and being happy all the time, not just sometimes. Okay, we want to be able to come to a place of happiness at any point in time, which you have the power to do so. There just seems to be a little something to shed, which is probably a way of being projected to. Someone's projecting something to us that we need illumination on, or we ourselves are projecting ourselves to be something that is not entirely true. At this point, I really think someone else is being unreal, is being sort of, oops, I'm throwing cards and no one mind me. Okay, so anyhow, so that is South. Illumination, maybe because this one seems to be the outer force, maybe on the West shield we should illuminate. Great Spirit and spirits of the other realm, ancestors and beings of all of our relations, can you please illuminate for Aries, an outer being who may be self-sacrificing, maybe impeaching on their feminine energy. Aries. Ooh, we have like 3 Great Smoky Mirror that came out last time. Remember I said I did a reading, of which I had to do twice because it was backwards? This is kind of the same message, which is not surprising because I believe in tarot cards. So these fell out. I'm just going to set them aside. Sacred Space and Medicine Wheel. Oh my gosh, look at how similar these are. Oh, I love tarot. Okay, so we have the medicine wheel, which is what we're doing right now, and we have a little girl or person who is sitting inside of it. This is sacred space. This is West Shield, and oh my gosh, we were trying to illuminate on the West. Okay, this is exactly what the West is. It's turning away for a minute, going inside yourself for a minute, surrounding yourself with this beacon of light. See how he or she is creating her own space here? Sacred space, self-respect, quietness. This has to do with absolutely going inside yourself, be embodying the bear a little bit. This is hibernation, and this is not letting anyone in. See how the little stones are placed around her as almost like a protective little barrier, okay? And so here we have the medicine wheel, which is what we're doing, which is cycles and movement. So, there's a Wheel of Fortune card in a Celtic deck, and this is very similar to it. So this is to say that cycles go on no matter what. No matter where you are on the wheel, it will continue. And we need to be the center. We need to center, or else if we are running, I love this analogy. I heard someone say it over tarot, I believe. If we're running along this wheel, imagine a wheel that's going downhill and we're trying to run on the top of it. And we're running on top of it and then we get stuck underneath it and we get ran over. And then we're running on top of it again and everything's fine. We're getting ran over. Then what we do is we want to go onto these spokes and we want to come to the center and we want to sit there. We have control over when it moves, over what is the next spoke in the wheel, which direction is it going. Just get in the center and stop. Just relax and you decide, you make the next decision of, you know, where it's going to be, and then stay in that center. If you feel like you're getting run over by the cycles of life, come back to center, okay? So that is absolutely the message here. And it came out while we were in the right corner, right here. Great Smoky Mirror is also our elaboration on the West, which is an elaboration of this guy. These two cards came together last reading, which I did backwards, so I'm redoing. Same message, though, which is, this is so similar. I mean, wow. The Great Smoky Mirror is the knowledge that everyone in our space is a reflection of ourselves. That's the main view of this card. I won't cover up the illumination. And so it's really looking into it, and looking into it very seriously and intuitively to figure out why that person's in our life. Why is this person annoying me? Why is this person being awful to me? Why is this person pretending like he's sacrificing everything? I say he, it could be he or she, I apologize. These just, they look male, that does not mean that they are entirely, this is a male card. This one is. This one, not so much. But it could be either way. I don't want to put limits on anything, okay? So, again, somebody who maybe is not being entirely real with us. But maybe there's a reason why. And you need to look inside yourself and illuminate on that in order to figure out why this person's in our lives, why they're here to teach us, and what in ourselves do we see in them that's making us maybe upset or annoyed or feel uneasy, okay? And we will find that out. We will have clarity, illumination, and expansion because of it, okay? This is not a blockade at all. If these cards were over here, we'd be blocked. We could not move on in July. We would have to stay there and figure it out. But I am pretty confident that June will end on a note that we understand. We go forward by going inside of ourselves and figuring this out. I feel like there's an outer force, but there is an end coming to it. Either an end does not have to mean, of course, it's not death. Very rarely will it be death. An ending could be this person is leaving our lives. An ending could be that this aspect or this perception of the person is leaving, and there is an illumination because we go into ourselves, understand that maybe they are sacrificing everything for us. Maybe this is entirely real, and we need to figure out, we need to look at it from all sides, okay? By getting inside of ourselves, inside of our sacred space, inside of our sacred hoop, and really meditate on it and decide who this person is. Why are they in my life for real? Okay? And then great mystery comes up. Came up in the last one too for Aries. Okay? This I'll put here because crossing us, Aries, we are the little warriors. I'm an Aries too, so this is a reading that I see for me. These two are expansion and clarity, and they're in spaces that make sense. So I don't want to really illuminate on them because they are illumination cards. Okay? This is open. This is future. The future is, there's no blocks to moving forward, Aries. Okay? And this is extremely powerful. This is the void, the original source, the sage. This is the universe. This is where we go to meditate. This is saying that the crack is open. Just close your eyes and you'll be there. Okay? Immediately. You won't have to work to get to the meditative space. You don't have to work in order to get to your sacred space. And illuminate on whatever's going on with this person in your life. I feel like maybe there is a male who is coming across to something that he's not. Okay? That's just a possibility, and it's only one possibility. It could be many things. But you will find out. You will know, and you will expand. And come July, you will be ready, and you will move forward. Okay, Aries? Keep in mind the next 7 generations. It all starts with us, and it starts with the void. Connect. Go there inside yourself. Be happy in all times. Go to that sacred space and be happy in all times in order to move forward and expand, because you have it in you and you have the illumination and clarity in order to expand. Okay, thank you so much, Aries. We will see you next month, I hope. Please give me likes and shares if you can, and hopefully I can figure out how to work my computer, because I'm not good at this cropping thing. So send me vibes. Love you. Bye.